become a mother, I find myself saying things that could practically come out of my dad's mouth.
I think about, like, what would my mother do? WWMD.
I can hear my mother's voice being like, you need to get up off that couch, you need to get in there, pick up your toys.
I just simply think about what my parents did, and then I just do the exact opposite.
Like it's almost as
My mom and my dad did the best they could.
Hi everyone, Asha Dornfest from ParentHacks.com. Today I wanted to ask you about something that's really taken me by surprise as I've gotten more and more experience as a mother. It seems like every year that goes by, I become more and more like my own parents. And this surprises me because I'm actually quite different from my parents. And yet now that I've become a mother, I find myself saying things that could practically come out of my dad's mouth. It's actually really surprising to me. On some level it's comforting, but on another level it's sort of a little unsettling. You know, I like to think of myself as somebody who's intelligent and who has free will. So I'm bringing this up because I'm wondering if you experience the same sorts of things. I mean, I read a lot of your blogs. A lot of you have real differences with your parents and the families that you grew up with. But I'm wondering still if some of those little qualities sneak in now that you're a mother.
I've always thought that, you know, if I did half as good a job as my parents did raising me, then, you know, my kids will grow up to be really solid individuals. Although, having said that, my parents raised me, and look what happened.
Asha, the answer to your question is hell no. I would not parent my daughter the same way that my parents parented me. Anytime I have a parenting dilemma or I have a question about what to do, I just simply think about what my parents did, and then I just do the exact opposite. It works great.
I'm obsessed with my parents. I think that they are as cool as I thought they were when I was 5. And I really do strive to be the parent they were to me because they were amazing. I know so many people are always talking about, you know, wanting to be different from their parents. Not me. I want to be exactly like my parents.
I'm always noticing, actually, that the words that come out of my mouth sound just like my mother. And my intonation is a lot like my mother's, and it's the gritting of the teeth and sort of the locked lower jaw, and you get over here right now. Or, you know, sometimes there are moments when the steam comes out of my ears and the little horns grow out of my head, and that's when I know that I've become my father. And I'm kind of like the perfect combination of my mother and father together, which that combination is pretty much a monster.
Heather, I hear what you're saying. I'm really glad that I hear my parents' voices coming out of me when I talk to my kids, because I too feel like they were wonderful parents, and they, you know, they weren't perfect, but who of us is perfect? I mean, it's not like that's really possible. Really, I think it's a compliment to our parents. I mean, I hope that my kids pick up the best qualities in me.
Whenever I'm feeling as a parent that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, which is often, I think about, like, what would my mother do? WWMD. And that's sort of, I'm able to kind of dig myself out of, you know, those perpetual parenting holes.
I think it is so sweet when I hear people talk about their parents in that way. I just think it's the dearest thing in the world, and it gives me something to hope for, because I don't have those feelings for my own parents. Not to say that there's not respect there, because there is, but my parents immigrated here in the 60s. They brought over an old school, iron-fisted Korean-style parenting technique that definitely would not work for kids these days. I mean, it didn't even work 20 years ago, so it definitely would not work for my daughter now.
I don't purposefully set out to be different than my parents because I really think that they did a great job. When my daughter was born, the first 5 hours of my daughter's life, I remember lying in the hospital bed thinking, oh my God, Mom, I take back anything bad I ever said about you. And I forgive you for anything that I ever thought you had done wrong. Oh my God.
And it's true. You know, you can't appreciate your parents until you become one. And for me, becoming a parent made me so appreciate mine that I'm like, I'm not worthy, I bow down to them.
I guess the thing that I didn't expect was that it would just happen so involuntarily. For example, my dad, he's notorious for being a total cheapskate, and my mom and I just gave him so much crap about it over the years. And now when I'm in stores with my kids, I like to think it's me being frugal or not spoiling them, but honestly, most of the things I don't buy, it's because I'm cheap.
My dad was incredibly cheap as well. We would be standing in the grocery store and I would say, "Ooh, can I have a stick of gum?" A stick of gum. Singular, one. And he would say, maybe Santa Claus will bring you one for Christmas. And I've almost gone in the completely opposite direction because it's like, I'm not going to do that to my kid. If my kid wants a damn Tic Tac, I'm going to let her have 100 Tic Tacs for breakfast instead of breakfast, like there's no need to ration out Tic Tacs.
Sometimes I think that I only have so much influence as a parent over my kids. Obviously, I teach them habits and I teach them how to speak to people and I teach them all sorts of things. After that, I have to just sort of let it go because I don't know how much of it is going to take. I don't know how much credit over who they become really should go to me, or it should just be sort of it's a sort of a miracle combination of what happens in their life and what their experience happens to be and the brains that they were born with and the parents they got.
Join the Momversation at momversation.com.